Take a quick look at this board. I was just about to make a project from it. It's been planed all round, and that's how I bought it from the big box store. But there's a problem with it. Can you see that? There's twist in this board. So how do we fix this twist? Well, we're going to use a thing called a pair of winding sticks. Now these are just literally made out of some 2x1, but there's a few little marks on them. There's a centre mark, and I put a couple of little dots in there. They're more decoration than anything, but they just tell me that that's the face. I put a red line along there. So for those experienced woodworkers out there, just bear with me for 1 minute while I explain to the beginners what winding sticks are and why you would want them. They're basically two pieces of parallel timber. So that thickness and that thickness are identical and they're both the same. That is the key point. Doesn't matter what fancy wood you use, etc. They must be square on the base and the back. The front can be sloping if you want, it doesn't really matter. A central mark is useful just when you're placing it on the boards, but when you place them like that and look down across them, you can see if one's going up and one's going down like that, you know your board is twisted. And that's what they're for. Now, if in the future you would like me to make a pair of these, a bit fancier than these, because these are about as basic as you can get, please let me know in the comments. Anyway, back to dealing with our board. And this is how we use them. We put one there. There is a centre mark there just to give you a rough idea. It doesn't have to be bang in the centre, but if it's close enough, that'll be good. That one's square to this edge. Put this one on here. You can do it by eye with a bit of practice. So that's in the centre. And then we look down the tube. And what we need to do is steadily come down until we get those two edges in line. And can you now see that this one is higher than this one? Okay, so we can put our winding sticks to one side for a moment. We know that this side of the board here, or this side of the board here, is higher than the others, is higher than these two sides. Put my little bench stop in there, put that up against there, grab a plane, and I'm literally just put a bit of set on it. Just take a few strokes, nothing excessive. And then I'm going to put my winding sticks back on there and take another look. And we're still a little bit high on both there and there. Now, if you happen to have a planer thicknesser, you can use the planer or jointer, as they call them in the US. You can use that to take off the high spots. But there's a little thing that you have to do if you're going to do that. Let's go over to the planer and I'll show you what that is. If I simply put the board on the planer table, you'll notice it rocks like this. And so if you were to plane that, it wouldn't plane it flat. So before we can do that, we need to shim the board, and we need to shim this corner and that corner. Let's do that first. And I'm just going to use a couple of bits of veneer and a tiny spot of hot glue. Just one there, one there. Okay. Now when I flip the board over, it doesn't rock. So now we can run it through the jointer or the planer, whichever you want to call it. Let's put some ear protection on. As you can see, it's removed that piece of veneer, but that one's still in place. So obviously it needs another pass. But for those of you who don't happen to have a jointer or a planer thicknesser, just check the grain on this. Yes, it is that one. You have to do it the old-fashioned way, which is simply take your plane. Now, because I've already put this through the planer, most of this is now flat. But there are a couple of low spots. There's one here, and there's one, because I can see that there's one over here as well. In fact, it extends all the way down this side. So I need to carry on planing where the planer skimmed, and bring that level down. And then we go back to the winding sticks, pop them on there, come down nice and slowly and keep lining those up. And that's looking pretty good now. So we now know that this board is flat, but there's a couple of low spots there. So I'm still going to have to take a little bit of timber from here. So I'll deal with that, and then we'll go on to the next stage. This side is now flat. I've checked it both across its width using the edge of the plane. Obviously when I'm doing that, I get my eye right down here so I can make sure I can't see daylight anywhere. So now we need to flip it over and deal with this side. But here's the question. Have we taken more off one side than the other? Because when we finish this board, we want it to be the same thickness throughout. So one way to find out whether it's the correct thickness all the way through is to grab a marking gauge. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the tip of it to the thickness of the board. Now this particular one, although it's a pin, it's been ground on the inside to make it flat on the inside. If your pin is round, you're going to have to use the very tip of it. And then I'm going to just put a very light gauge mark all the way down that board. And that edge looks to be pretty consistent all the way down. I'm just about touching that edge and that edge, but only literally, it's a hair. On this side though, and I hadn't checked this beforehand, there's definitely maybe, I don't know, 1/4 millimetre, something like that. It's a very small amount, but it is marginally thicker on this side. I'm also going to just check. So I just wanted to check that it hadn't sort of cupped or something and was a bit less in the centre, but it doesn't appear to be. So clearly these two outer edges need to be planed slightly. So we'll deal with that first. And I've got my plane set to a pretty fine cut to do this. You're better off, and it's actually easier to take more fine shavings than it is to try and plough through it with a big heavy cut. And don't forget, if the plane is dragging a bit, use the rag in a can trick, which I always put down to Paul Sellers. I don't know whether he invented it or not, but he's certainly a guy who's promoted it, and it's the best trick I have ever come across. Just always go from the heel of your plane to the toe. If you go the other way, you'll be shaving your rag, and you don't want to do that. And it really does make a difference to help your plane glide across the surface of the wood. And strangely enough, it doesn't appear to leave any oil on the wood surface afterwards. Don't know why that is. I don't know whether it's just so minute, but it doesn't affect any finish that I've ever used. And I've used varnishes, epoxies, shellacs, both oil and water based. So I can only speak as I find. Let's just see if it's hollowed in the middle. Now it is a little bit at this end. It's got two high spots and it's hollow there. But there looks pretty flat. So let's just put the marking gauge on that. Oh no, we've still got timber there. Yeah. So we clearly need to go a little bit more. Just there. And I can just see where my gauge mark is. So on this side, I'm not quite down to the gauge mark. So I'll just carry on doing that for a moment. More or less there now. Yeah, that looks good now. So we've now got a board that's flat on this side, it's flat on this side, and it's the same thickness throughout. So now we come to the question of what about the edges? Are they square? They were when they left the mill, but have they remained square? And you do need to check this one. Let's just find out. Let's say that since that was the first one we did, we'll say that's our face side. Let's put that on there. Can you see that? It's not bad, but it's a little bit higher on this edge than it is on that one. So I'm literally just going to pop it in the vise and I'm going to just plane. So first of all, I'm just on the edge like so, and I'm taking just a tiny whisper off that edge. And I'm going to bring it a bit closer. So I'm taking a slightly broader, but again, I'm not playing anything off this edge. And then I'll come across and do 1, 2 to the full width. So let's have a look at that now. That was my face edge. And now we're absolutely dead square. Right, so we've now got a face and we've got an edge. So all our markings from now on would be from those two sides. But what about this other edge? For one thing, is this edge absolutely parallel to that edge? Or have we shaved maybe a little bit more off this end than we did off this end, and so this board is narrower here than there? We need to check that. I don't think it is, but you never know. It might have been a bit narrow when we even bought the board. It may have shrunk a little on one side and not the other. Right, that's right on the edge. And that's right on the edge as well. I think with this one, I can just about mark it with this gauge. Anything a bit wider than this board and you would need a wider gauge, which you can buy. And is it square? Can you see? It's just a fraction higher on this edge. So I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm literally just going to take a couple of strokes. I'm going to take one light one on the edge, a bit wider, and then let's go to the full print. Let's just see how that is now. That is spot on. So we now have a board that is flat on both sides, both faces are parallel to one another, both edges are square and also parallel to one another. So now I have a board that I can do the project I planned to do in the first place. Please leave me a comment. Thanks very much to all my subscribers, and until next time, I'm David, I'm the SKINT Woodworker. Now take care now. Bye.